Hey, we're Flick and Joe, and this is our dog Walter. In 2022, we made the crazy decision to quit our full-time jobs, pack up our lives, and move aboard our blue water sailing boat. We spent many months refitting her and getting her ready for our plans until one day we actually did it. We cast off the lines, we pointed her south, and off we went. We've now sailed over 1,000 nautical miles, dodging orcas, yes, actually, and most of the rocks along the way. Join us for the beautiful, quite stressful, but endlessly eventful life that is full-time living aboard. Just putting my flippers on. Like the cool scuba girl I am. Flipper one. Flipper two. And down again. We'd been in the Balearics for 3 months by now, and Nendaz was beginning to look a lot, furry below the waterline. As that water temperature starts to warm up throughout the summer, the underwater growth in the hull really accelerates. We had a pretty furry carpet growing on Nendaz, so with that being said, we got to work on cleaning the hull. That furry growth really slows you down a lot. It makes a big difference, and we wanted to be speedy for our sail across to Italy. Once she was scrubbed and polished, we were finally ready to head off to Sardinia, and my goodness did we time it right. The anchorage was filling in all around us. It seemed silly season really had arrived at Minorca. Busy anchorages full of inexperienced yachties can mean dubious anchoring technique surrounding your boat. Throughout the coming months, we found ourselves diving not only on our own anchor, but on our neighbours, just to check quite a few times. We feel like we've entered the season of the yachties now. We were complaining about it being busy yesterday, and there were like 13 boats. Look around us.
Yeah, what's that about anchor? You can go see if they're anchored again.
Yeah. There's so many birds.
It's not joking, I can see it.
Really? Can you keep it out to wait? Can you see the guys out? Okay. We just left Menorca, which is our final stop in Spain, and there's the most beautiful sunrise. So pretty. It's so pretty. And yeah, now we've got about 36-hour passage and we'll get to Sardinia, the like north tip of Sardinia. But yeah, very exciting. See you in Sardinia. Sunrise just keeps getting better. So bright, looks amazing.
Oh my god. Okay, it's live video.
No idea why, but when you're doing a big day crossing, when you start early, everything is so sticky. It's horrible. So like all of my skin, my jumper, my clothes all feel really sticky, and the boat, like everything is damp. So it's never really very fun when you first start. But hopefully the sun will come up soon and we will dry off. Well, the sun is up, but it's not, you know, not a good temperature yet because it is 8:10. So as soon as the sun comes up and it's hot, I'll be like, oh, I'm so hot, I'm so hot, I'm so sweaty, and I'll be sticky for a different reason. Yeah, a little insight to a day passage for you. Dad, you caught fish. Walter, go to bed and lie down. And lie down. Lie down. Good boy. You're making that way too exciting for him. Bye guys. We'll see you in Italy. Bye. Where are they?
You're funny. Isn't this such lovely sailing?
Yeah.
This is maybe the nicest passage we've ever had.
So far. Nicest start, yeah.
We've got like 10 knots on the side and we're doing 5.5 knots boat speed. So good, it's so flat.
Lovely and flat.
Still very early, it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
I'm surprised there's not more boats out.
There's one behind us I saw.
Was it saffron?
I'm really enjoying just being one with nature.
as is always the case with the tower, what you actually see and what you get may be two different things. So at this time, although when he builds it, there is a basement, So he's protecting Westminster, protecting trade and where ships can come into, which also means that he can extract taxes and dues from them. But it's not in the City of London, it's sitting on the edge of the City of London. So in that way, it is menacing. It's a calling card, it's reminding people. We now look back on it and go,
What's going on?
Listening to a podcast.
life was pretty
Well,
much the
how
same.
come you're on your phone?
Why?
What?
Just listening to a podcast.
But then you went on your phone.
Yeah.
To do what?
To check something.
What are you checking?
See if we've got any spots.
I thought you were trying to get Starlink to work again.
No.
And you were like, I'm done with podcasts.
Starlink doesn't work anymore.
Try
Too
it
far
again,
away
see if
from
it'll
land.
work. There's a new rule with Starlink where if you're at sea, then you don't get it. It's the first time it's affected us. We won't have internet until tomorrow unless we can get this button to switch on, which is a bit glitchy.
It's €2.31 per gigabyte. You want me to use it? We'll begin in 15 minutes. It says.
Nice.
Yesterday we used about 30 gig.
Oh fucking hell, and what?
So
What do we use
the
30
total
gig on?
data usage since the 2nd of June is 368 gig. So don't be downloading stuff.
What did we...
I uploaded loads of stuff to Google Drive yesterday.
yeah.
Even on quiet days we still do 8 gig,
That's amazing,
between
isn't
5
it?
and 8 gig, so don't just be using it willy-nilly.
So I can't watch my programme, the CSI programme.
Well, that's going to cost you about £1, probably, €1 to download it. You should have done this before.
One of the problems with the Rosetta Stone as an easy key to decipherment was the fact it was broken. And so people couldn't match easily and exactly the 3 different versions of the same text. But it was fairly clear just by counting.
The French want to reclaim the intellectual and moral life. Street in Cairo is named after him, as well as 2 French museums and a crater on the moon. He becomes known as the
Yes, the translation is when translation is about dealing with another culture. Texts are not abstract things, they are artifacts created by a culture, embedded in a culture, part of its life.
Hello!
Countries.
We're cruising along. Got about 14 knots of wind on the beam. We're doing about 6.5, 7 knot average. It's going really well so far. The sea is muy bueno, it's very flat. We've got a little bit of wind chop, but that's about it. So far, it's probably like one of the nicest passages we've had, maybe ever, in terms of like swell and wind. But touch word that it doesn't all change. 5:20 now in the afternoon, so we've been going for almost 12 hours. We've sailed 62 miles now, so we're making pretty good progress. We're doing over 5.5 knots or something average. Really nice breeze, really nice sea state. Got about 13 knots of wind and we're doing about 4.5 knots on full speed. Don't know, can you see this? Well, let's see if you can see this. There. That little white dot is sailing Saffron. Or it's Saffron Star, so our friends that we've been travelling with for the last, well, 3-4 months now. 3.5 months, it's been a while. And yeah, We're crossing to Italy. This is going to be a new country, the first time we've visited a new country in a really long time, because when we left the UK, we landed in Spain, and you go down the coast and you go to Portugal, and then you end up back in Spain, and then we went to Morocco, and then we went to Gibraltar, and then back in Spain, and then the Balearic Islands is part of Spain. So yeah, we've been in Spain for quite a long time now. Now we're going to Italy, which is a totally new language, so that's going to be fun. Just as I thought I was starting to get okay at Spanish, but... And... Walt's just done a wee on the bow. Clever dog. It's been a lot of sun today. There's not really much of any clouds in the sky. You can see a couple behind me, little very high in the sky clouds, not offering much shade. So I've spent basically all of the day either under the Dodger, under the spray hood here, hiding, but then in the afternoon this is now no longer shady, so then I transferred it to down here, which is under the solar panels. The solar panels do a great job at shading me from the sun. So I've just been camped out at the back there this afternoon. Got a fishing line out. It would be lovely to catch some fish. We haven't caught anything since the Algarve coast. Well, we haven't caught any fish from trawling. We have caught some fish at anchor, just some saddled sea bream, but no big fish. I want to catch a big fish, I want to catch a tuna. Mwah. Feeling a bit sicky.
I went to the loo. That was a mistake, it's always a mistake. I just felt awful after that, and I tried to lie down. I was really hungry, and I was like, oh, I could get up and cook. But the idea of trying to move around down below was just making me feel so much worse.
Just tell me.
When I came up those stairs just now, I was like, oh. So.
But you just say you're hungry, I'll sort you some food.
I know, but I feel bad.
Don't feel bad, I feel okay.
So, you can hear me. We're now going into the night on our way to Sardinia. Oh, a bit burn. And it's about 9 o'clock. Normally Joe does this shift from whenever until midnight. He doesn't really go to sleep until midnight. But tonight we've got like escalating forecast. A couple of things are baffling. It's quite a long way, and the wind has been really nice, but lighter than we thought it would be, I think, because we've had the engine on more than we thought. And the reason we can't just go along with the light wind is that the passage that we want to go to is quite shallow. We want to go through this passage, and there's like a really nice anchorage on the other side before we go check into Italy. And we really don't want to do the narrow, dark passage at night in an ideal world, in particular if it's going to be windy. So it's narrow and shallow, being the operative word there, shallow. So yeah, we're on the night watch now. We've got an escalating forecast. Some are predicting gusts of like 32 knots, and some are predicting gusts of like 20 knots. So I think that's going to kick off like between 11 and 2. So I'm doing a watch now until 11, and then I'll wake Joe up and he'll go up. If the forecast comes in earlier, then I'll wake him up if we get like 15 knots constant of wind. Or we're going constantly at over 7 knots. But yeah, motor sailing, that's my easiest way to sleep. Oh yeah, it's just a bit like confusing, because 4 of the forecasts that we looked at will say like 20 knot gusts max overnight, and then 2 of them are saying like 30 knots. and if it was 30 knots and we knew it, then we'd have reefed the sails down. But because it's not like guaranteed, we don't want to reef the sails in case it helps get us there earlier, basically. Like we don't want to slow the boat down loads at night. I mean, Joe doesn't want to slow the boat down loads at night. My view is I would rather that we went into it like reefing early, etc. But I'm not the captain, he knows. I'm just going to trust that he knows what he's doing and he's not just trying to push us or push the boat. Yeah. So I'll check in with you in a bit. At the moment, we've got a really nice sky around me as we go into the night watch. It's like 5:30 and the sun is coming up. Look at that. I think this is the first time I've been on shift for sunrise, so that's pretty exciting. Been quite a good night in terms of weather. We got quite close to Saffron at one point. Just before midnight, so I woke up Joe for that. But other than that, I think it was okay. He stayed up from about 11:30 until about 3:30, which I'm very grateful for because I think that was when the wind was strongest. So he would have been being woken up the whole time by me being like, oh, I think it's too strong. So yeah, we've got about another 12 hours to go, and then we'll be in Sardinia. I'm hoping that maybe in the next 6 hours we start to see the coast appearing, which will be quite cool. But yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Good morning. It is now 8:30 in the morning, and yeah, it was quite a tough night shift. It wasn't particularly swelly, it wasn't particularly windy. I was just so tired. Couldn't stay awake. And then when I did get some rest and flicked took over, I couldn't sleep very well either, so that was rubbish. But we are about 50 miles away from Italy. It's very hot. Lost wind, got like 10 knots, but it's not pushing us fast enough. And so we're slamming around, so we pulled it right in. Down there. I hate passengers.
School hours of the 28th of January 1540.
Land hoy! We can see land! Woo! It's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're about 15 miles away from land, almost on Italian soil. And we motored a lot this morning because the wind wasn't quite strong enough to sail without the boom just slapping really hard. We could put the preventer up, and we did, but even with the preventer up, the sail still flaps and it slaps. But now the wind's picked up a little bit. Now we got our headsail out on the port side with the pole and mainsail. So we're wing on wing, baby. Walt was a very clever boy. This morning, this little lad came up onto the bow, didn't you? And he did a toilet break. He did his number 1s and his number 2s. So he's a very clever boy. And yeah, just sort of enjoying the last 15 miles on passage. It's quite nice. At some points we were sailing across water that's like 2,500, 2,400 meters deep. And that's just pretty weird. It's kind of a weird feeling to know that, yeah, you're sailing along and that's a whole long way down. And what else can I tell you? Last night we had some amazing phosphorescence. Like, not just little bits of glitter sparkles in the ocean, which you get all the time, but we actually had like these full bright balls of luminescence. And I think it's where the prop, which was spinning, the prop was stirring it up, and it was like whoosh, these amazing balls of phosphorescence stuff, bioluminescence. In he goes.
The final part of the passage was through a very small and shallow, as I mentioned a couple of times earlier, gap to get to our super protected anchorage. We did stop filming though, sadly, and we didn't really capture it. It was nuts. The swell had built up, and the final patch of sea just before we crossed was really wavy, probably just under a 2-metre swell, but it was throwing the boat around a ton. I was really nervous as the passage was really shallow in parts. We're talking like maybe 2 to 3 metres, and our draft is about 2.1 metres. We dropped the sails and motored through to give us more control, so we stayed in the deeper sections. However, as soon as we were in the passage, the sea did calm down. We hopped just around the corner and we anchored in the most beautiful turquoise water where some of our Tangier friends were also anchored, and sailing saffron weren't far behind us. Okay. This morning started so well. I went for a really nice snorkel really early, and it was beautiful. It was like 7 o'clock, the sea was so flat, it was heaven, and I was like, I'm gonna do this every day. Had my amazing flippers on that I love, and then when I got off, I think I put my flippers on the swim platform, and didn't pick them up any further than that. I now have no flippers, which is so sad. So Joe is now trying to see whether he can find them with a friend. They've got like a wing foil, so he's having to go with a wing foil to see if they can find them like somewhere. But of all the anchorages we've been in to lose my fins in, I mean, it's huge. It's so big. What are the chances of finding it?
You ready? Come on then. That was good. Well done.
I fell. I meant to fall backwards.
Yeah, that's really good experience for the dog. Well done. Did she get you all wet? Well, did she get you all wet? Come here. There you go.